The Rolex Submariner is a watch I would never buy. Tell me I'm crazy here. I cannot be the only person that thinks the Rolex Submariner is an ugly watch. Don't get me wrong, like I get the appeal of the brand. It has a ton of offerings that are super unique and elegant and beautiful and functional, and there are a bunch of watches that I would want to get myself, but the Submariner, that watch is an ugly watch. It's stale, boring, uninspired. It's $7,900 for pay a little bit less. You can get the Oyster Perpetual, a couple different color dials you can try there. My main gripe is with the black one, but the blue one, that one's bad also. I don't know. Submariners, present day Submariners, those are ugly watches. Don't buy them. There's so many beautiful watches out there that you guys can purchase. Their money will be much more well spent going to the lower model, the Oyster Perpetual, maybe stepping up to some of their other offerings. Like myself, my grail watch is the Rolex Daytona. But even in that same price category, you got so many other options for different watch brands. I would just check around, get something that is gonna make you happy when you wear it. Like the main reason that I got into collecting watches is because I was gifted a watch after my grandfather passed, and I wore it for about 6 months straight. After that time, I just found myself connected to them. I was looking them up on YouTube, checking people out, checking out watches online on different websites and stuff. And it kind of like sparked something inside of me. I get happy when I look at them. I get happy when I buy them. I get happy when I put them on. I look down at my wrist. And I think that's important when it comes to watch collecting, is the feeling that you get and the connection that you have with the watch. And the Rolex Submariner, that inspires absolutely nothing out of me. And so, I mean, maybe I'm the only one, but I cannot believe that I'm the only person that feels that way. Like, I get why people like it. I really do. But me, myself, I could never buy that watch. Reliability, I could get just an average quartz watch, a G-Shock. There's just so many other things that you could do to satisfy that aspect of it. It doesn't justify that price tag. And not to mention the fact that they're ruining the case of the watch. That thing is so big and chunky and clunky and ugly, and it's not for me. I'm not super like, oh, like you could buy something else with the money you spent on that. But in this situation, I believe it. If not another watch, you could buy another lower price watch, at least speaking for myself, that I will enjoy much more than that and have thousands of dollars left over to spend on something else that will also make me happy. Or maybe I set it aside for the future, or there's so many other options. Don't feel obligated to purchase these staple watches that are part of the commonplace in the watch community. I've been on YouTube searching videos for the past year and a half, and I'd say 95% of the videos that I've seen on the Rolex Submariner are positive. The one watch collection. If you can only get one Rolex, you should get the Rolex Submariner. Like, no, that watch is trash. It's ugly. It's chunky. I can't do it. The purpose of this video is for those people that might be somewhat interested in purchasing a Submariner, but maybe they haven't pulled the trigger on it. And so they're still doing some research to see whether they actually want to do it or not. And I feel like everyone that I've seen kind of like pushes you in that direction. And I don't feel that that's right for everyone. I do agree that, on your watch journey, you should try out different watches, make bad purchases here and there in order to figure out what you like. Like, it's hard to tell these things without actually getting it on your wrist and, going around day to day with it and seeing how it, makes you feel. But I know for me that I take form before function in a lot of situations. And so if I look at the watch and it's just a watch that I feel is ugly, then its function is meaningless to me. The fact that it has a super reliable movement, it's robust, it's accurate, it's all blah, 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 blah. It does nothing for me. There's so many other watches that could also check that box that also look really good, and they're ones that are going to make me happier and going to make me want to look down at my wrist 100 times a day like I typically do with some of the watches that I purchased. And so I'm not a big, oh, you shouldn't spend that amount of money on a watch type of guy. I think that, certain watches, if you want to fork out a couple thousands of dollars, that's justified. If that's what makes you happy and that's what you've been saving your money for, do it. But be cautious with a high price purchase like this. You want to make sure that the purchases that you're making actually do make you happy, and you're not just purchasing them because you feel that everyone's telling you this is a good, safe investment purchase for you to make. I don't think watches should be investments, and if you're purchasing in that way, then this hobby isn't going to satisfy you in the way that it should. And yeah, I get it. Rolex retains its value super well, and if you needed to sell the watch down the road, you'd probably do that fairly easy compared to other watches, and you wouldn't take as big of a hit as you would with other watches. But at the same time, you don't want to tie up that money purchasing a watch that you never even really liked in the first place. At least for me, I'm glad I'm at the place that I'm at where, I'm not in that position, aside from the fact that I don't have the money for it. But if I was in that position, I still wouldn't buy it. There's kind of two exceptions to that. If I was ever going to get a Rolex Submariner, it would either be the two-tone bluesy or the Kermit, the 16610 LV. I think both of those are really, really beautiful watches, and if they were in the right proportions and I got it on my wrist and it felt right, those are ones I could actually own. But the black one, the blue one, and some of these other variations, I absolutely would never purchase, ever. And I would encourage anybody that's having some of the similar feelings to what I'm feeling, that you don't purchase it as well. Maybe go try one on, borrow one from a friend if they have one, test drive it for a little while and see if it does, if anything's going on in there. For me, I already know for a fact it wouldn't. I hope this video didn't come across the wrong way and make it seem like I'm just here to bash Rolex and they're just some crappy brand that offers an overpriced item that isn't worth the price tag. For the most part, I think that the brand that they've built and what they're able to offer, I can respect the prices that they charge for their products. But when it comes to the Submariner specifically, that's just something I can't get behind. So yeah, that being said, I love Rolex. I want a Daytona, I want a Datejust, I want a Day-Date, I want a lot of the watches that they have to offer. But Explorer 2, come on now. Polar dial, beautiful. It's interesting to me to see how many people share those opinions. I feel like I'm kind of an odd one out in that regard on a lot of things, and so that's another reason for me starting this channel. I want to connect with people that are similar and like-minded to me in, my weird intricacies and, that sort of stuff. This is the first video here on my channel where I'm talking about watches, but that's going to be the primary focus going forward. I'm just really into watches, and if I'm going to have a YouTube channel, I need it to be around something that is something that I care about and that I'm going to be motivated to make videos for. And so yeah, that's the reason for it. a couple things I just wanted to throw in here at the end. My philosophy for this channel is to stick to 3 rules. 1, authenticity. 2, transparency. And 3, exploration. Every video that I make is going to be 100% from the heart. If it's, I love this super popular thing, it's because that popular thing is just something that I happen to like as well. If it's, more like this video where I'm kind of shitting on, more like this video and I'm taking an unpopular opinion, it's because that is what I feel about the product or service that it is that we're talking about. I just feel it's important to communicate that to you guys and let you know that that's what it is, and you can hold me accountable in that regard. Transparency, also super important. I feel that a lot of the channels that I followed in regards to watches and just anything that I'm interested in, the transparency, the authenticity, all of that stuff, it's there at the beginning, but it kind of fades away as the channel grows. I hope my channel grows. We'll see where this takes us, but I want to stay true to those things as well as the exploration. That's why I have them written down on a pad over here, just to help me get a visual. Those are things that are just innately in me, but sometimes having that visual representation helps keep you grounded. I'm not sure where this channel is going to go and what I might be able to accomplish. And so if there is any type of traction or success in that regard, sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that, which ties into the third thing, which is exploration. I want to challenge myself to work with, improving editing and getting a little creative with the videos. And so I will do things that are outside of what I normally do or what my comfort zone is. But instead of hopping on trends and doing whatever's popular in order to get views and try to gain traction in an unnatural, inauthentic way, my goal would be to just explore things that I am interested in and what I have in mind for the channel to become. And so it might change and mold and become different things, but it's my goal to remain authentic, transparent, and just explore. So yeah, thank you for stopping by my channel and watching this video. If you liked it, please drop a like. My question to you is, what is the watch that you would never buy? It doesn't have to be a high profile watch like the ROLEX Submariner, but this is one that really has bothered me since I started my watch collecting journey. I just can't wrap my head around it, and so I felt it was a good place to start. But yeah, if there's a watch that you would never buy, just go ahead and leave a comment on what that watch is and why it is that you would never buy it. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about that. I'm looking to make at least a video a week. I'll try to keep it to like 2 or 3 if I can do that. So yeah, catch you in the next one. Bye. Catch you in the next one. Peace. If you disagreed with anything in this video, I just want you to know that you're wrong. No, but seriously, you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, you're wrong. Ooh. Bang, bang. So this is the watch I'm wearing today. It's the Hamilton Khaki Field Aviation. Okay, Field might not be in the title, but still, it's the watch I'm wearing. It's a super cool watch. I got it for $40 off of Poshmark. Took it to my watchmaker. He fixed it up for me real quick. So yeah, this is typically I think like a $350, $400 watch. And I got it for basically $60, $40 for the watch itself, and then $20 for the service. So my advice to you would be keep an eye out for deals on those reseller sites, but do your research, find out about the watch, and do your due diligence before purchasing, because yeah, I might not get a real watch. This one was only $40. I didn't ask a ton of questions or get any extra info, any extra pictures or anything. I was fine with, you know, cutting my losses if it turned out to be that it wasn't authentic or it was beyond repair or something of that nature. But I took it in and it was literally just putting in a screw that had fallen out that was kind of jamming things up in there. I've had it working now for about 8 months, no problems whatsoever, super accurate timekeeping, and yeah, I love it. Easily twice, 3 times, 10 times is good. 10 times as good of a looking watch is the Rolex Submariner.